All right, let's get right into it. We're going to talk about something, a single idea really, that could be the key to unlocking everything you're capable of. It's one of the most powerful frameworks out there for understanding why some people thrive and others get stuck, and more importantly, how you can use it to completely change the game for yourself.
I mean, think about that for a second. What if the biggest barrier, the thing that's really holding you back from your goals, isn't your talent, isn't your resources, it's just one thought? A single belief that colors how you see everything, from a tough project at work to a piece of criticism. And what if you could actually change that thought?
So this whole idea comes from the amazing work of Stanford psychologist Carol Dweck, and she basically found that people fall into two big camps. On one side, you've got the fixed mindset. This is the belief that, your smarts, your talents, they're just fixed. You're born with them, and that's that. But on the other side, there's the growth mindset, and this is the game changer, the belief that your abilities can be built, cultivated, and grown. This isn't just some academic theory, folks. These are two totally different ways to live your life, two paths you can actually choose between.
So, let's start by digging into this. A tale of two minds, if you will. We really need to get what makes each one tick.
Okay, so the fixed mindset. Think of it like this. You believe you've been dealt a certain hand of cards, a certain amount of intelligence, a certain amount of artistic talent, and that's the hand you have to play for the rest of your life. It's finite. And because you believe it's finite, your whole strategy becomes about protecting those cards, not trying to get new ones.
And right there, that's where the problem is. It's not just a limiting belief, it's actually a trap that's designed to keep you exactly where you are. Let's look at how it works.
So if you're in that fixed mindset, this is what your world looks like. You start to avoid challenges, right? Because what if you fail? It might prove you're not as smart as you thought. You see feedback as a personal attack. Someone isn't critiquing your work, they're critiquing you. Failure feels final. It's just proof of your limits. And maybe the worst part, when other people succeed, it doesn't inspire you. It actually threatens you. It all boils down to this. You spend all your energy looking smart instead of actually becoming smarter. It's a full-time job just protecting your ego.
But it doesn't have to be like that. There is a completely different way to operate, a different way to see the world entirely.
And this is the growth mindset. I'm telling you, it's not just a nice idea, it's a legitimate superpower for learning, for achievement, for everything.
Now look at this. It's the complete opposite of what we just saw. With a growth mindset, you embrace challenges because they're chances to grow. You see feedback not as an attack, but as a gift, a tool to get better. Failure? Failure is just a critical part of learning. It's how you figure things out. And when others succeed, you find inspiration in that. It shows you what's possible. The focus completely shifts from protecting what you have to building what you could have.
So, I gotta ask, which one of these sounds more like you? Just be honest for a sec. We all have moments of both, for sure. But which one is your default setting? Your go-to internal voice? I'm genuinely curious. Let us know down in the comments.
Okay, let's put these two mindsets head-to-head in the ultimate arena, the moment of failure, because nothing reveals the difference between them more clearly than how they handle getting knocked down.
So, let's make this real. Imagine you've poured your heart and soul into a project. You submit it, and the feedback you get back is just brutal. It's harsh. It's critical. What happens in your brain in that exact moment?
Well, for the fixed mindset, that little voice in your head goes into overdrive. See, I told you. This just proves I'm not good enough. I've hit my limit. That feedback isn't just feedback anymore. It feels like a verdict on your worth. The failure becomes personal. It feels like it's about who you are. But hold on a second. What if that's not what's happening at all? What if that feedback isn't a verdict, but just data?
This right here, this is the mental flip that changes everything. The growth mindset takes that same piece of painful criticism and redefines it. It's not an endpoint. It's not a stop sign. It's a signpost. It's valuable information telling you, hey, look over here. This is the part you need to work on. It turns a moment of pain into a moment of progress.
Okay, I get it. The concept sounds great, but how do you actually do it? How do you go from knowing this to living it? Well, let's get practical. Here's your toolkit for growth.
It comes down to 3 key things. First, watch your words. Start praising the process, not the person. Instead of saying, you're so smart, say, wow, you worked really hard on that. Do it for others and do it for yourself. Second, when you fail, you have to consciously reframe it. Ask yourself, okay, what's the lesson here? Not, why am I so bad at this? And third, you gotta get uncomfortable. Actively look for challenges that are just a little bit beyond your current skill level. That's where all the growth happens.
And hey, speaking of feedback, if these tips are hitting home for you, if you're getting some real value out of this, a simple click on that like button is awesome feedback for us. It lets us know we're making stuff that helps.
All right, let's zoom out for a second. Because when you adopt a growth mindset, you're not just changing a belief. You're plugging into one of the most powerful forces for success there is.
I'm talking about the power of compounding. See, a growth mindset gives you the fuel to just show up day after day and get a tiny bit better, just 1% better. And that might not seem like much, but those tiny improvements repeated over and over, they build on each other. They compound. And over months and years, they lead to these absolutely mind-blowing results. It's the secret engine behind almost every expert you've ever admired.
And you know what the best part is? Growth mindset isn't a standalone thing. It's like a power-up. When you combine it with other mental models, its effects get even stronger. It makes everything else work better. We've got a whole playlist on these models, and if you want to keep going down this rabbit hole, just click the card up on the screen to dive right in.
So, as you're thinking about this for yourself, think about this for others too. Who do you know that needs to hear this? Who's stuck in that fixed trap? Go ahead and share this explainer with them. It could be the one thing that helps them get unstuck.
So let's land the plane with this final question for you. Don't just let this be another interesting idea you heard. Make it a choice, right now. In which one area of your life, just pick one, are you going to decide to apply a growth mindset, starting today? Your career, a skill you want to learn, a relationship, your potential is already there. All you have to do is choose to grow into it.